Okay, Central Texas, Chief Meteorologist Erika Lopez here with the weather update. I see me live on our Facebook stream, so just wanted to confirm everyone can hear me okay. If you can do so, comment below, let me know where you're tuning in from, and just want to do a little audio check before we get to the nitty-gritty of the forecast. First of all, I just want to give you guys a heads up. The severe threat that we have overnight tonight, it is a low-end threat compared to what we dealt with last week. So just wanted to throw that out there. But I do want to let you know that anytime we have any type of severe weather threat, we have to watch it, because it only takes one severe storm or possibly one isolated tornado that could bring in a lot of devastation. Although our tornado threat, very, very low. Just want to throw that out there also. Damaging winds, hail are going to be a primary concern with this next system pushing through again overnight tonight into early tomorrow. So I'm going to click on the comments. Looks like you guys can hear me okay, and we'll get going with the forecast. So it is very windy outside, right? Wind advisory is in effect until 4 a.m. and we've seen gusts of up to 40 miles an hour today. It's been pretty bad. Also stirring up the pollen. Have you guys felt it? I was outside for about 30 minutes or so, and I just felt the pollen on me. I felt like I had a shower right away. Now, on top of that, because of the fact that it's been so dry, we're still under an extreme drought for a lot of Central Texas. Red flag warnings are in effect until 8 p.m. Just letting you know, still outdoor burning not allowed. Here's a look at those wind gusts. Gusts have topped out as high as again 40 miles an hour for areas such as the airport. So live look at temperatures. We're in the upper 70s. Let's get to talking storm chances. There's an area of low pressure. Do you see the swirl that's happening across parts of the Central Plains? That is the swirl that's associated around the area of low pressure. And then we're on the southern end of the cold front that's associated with that area of low pressure. That's going to swing through our next storm chance, and that's going to bring in our next severe weather threat overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning. You can already see some light radar reflectivity, some echoes on radar. Any of this moisture that you see, the green patchy shaded colors in the hill country, the atmosphere is still technically too dry. I don't think a lot of that is even touching the ground quite just yet. I think most of our rain chances will be overnight. So we have a level 1 and 2 out of a level 5 storm threat. What does that mean? A marginal to a slight risk means isolated warnings will be possible, isolated severe warnings. And last week we were under a level 4 out of 5, which, by the way, that had not happened since 2015. So just to let you know, the threat is much lower, but it's still there. Again, just won't be as widespread as what we had last week. Let me make, oops, hold on. Okay, you guys can still see it. So let's talk about the timing of these storms. I'm taking you out to overnight tonight. This is just after midnight when I see the line of showers and storms moving through the hill country. Notice the pockets of the storms, they're very isolated. It's not as widespread. And then I do see a slight weakening trend that's possible as it moves further east, but I still think it'll be stormy enough or strong enough to bring in rumbles of thunder, possibly wake you up after about 3 a.m. along I-35. So that's when I think Austin's going to have their best storm chance. And then moving eastward, our eastern counties just before sunrise is when I think we have our best storm threat. But notice I-35, Austin, we're already in the clear. So I really don't think it's going to be a huge nuisance for your morning commute. I think the roads may be a little bit damp, leftover drizzle possibly from clearing out showers and storms. But already by sunrise, the hill country, your skies are clear. The birds will be chirping. We're done with the storm threat. And then the rest of Wednesday is actually pretty nice. Lots of sunshine. It's just going to be very gusty yet again behind the system. So that's the timeline of the storms. Again, tornado threat, very, very low. It's not a 0, but it's very low. Our tornado threat was pretty high last week. Flooding threat, very low also. This line is going to quickly clear out. As fast as it moves in, it's going to clear out. It'll bring in about a ½ an inch of rain at best for a lot of us, maybe isolated spots up to a quick inch of rain. I think our biggest concern is going to be the damaging wind gusts within the actual storms. Gusts of up to 60 miles an hour will be possible. And then hail is also a threat also. I would say 1-inch size in diameter is considered severe size hail, and it's still a lower threat, but those would be our biggest concerns, the hail and the damaging winds for the storms overnight tonight into tomorrow. So here's a look at the rainfall accumulation graphic, because we desperately need the rain here in Central Texas. It is so dry. But again, 1/2 inch widespread, I think max, but isolated spots 1 inch or so. The highest of the rainfall accumulation will be north of Central Texas. I think the next graphic is our 7-day forecast. I do have 3 cold fronts in the 7-day graphic, and that lets us know, we're in the midst of spring severe weather season. The cold front this weekend, it's pretty weak. I don't see a storm threat with it. About a 10, maybe 20% chance of rain max with that front. But next week, I already see our next storm chance. So just want to give you a heads up. This is going to be the next, several weeks when we're in the midst of severe weather season. Really the months of March, April, even still May, but by mid to end of May, we start to calm down with this weather pattern. It's going to be almost a weekly thing where we have these cold fronts that spark up severe storm chances. So it's a time of the year, especially if you're new to Central Texas, that we really need to be weather aware. We need to take these cold fronts seriously, no matter how low the risk is or how high the risk is. There's always a risk, right? It's not zero. And if you're just up to date with the forecast and, have your notifications turned on, the KVUE app, make sure you have your cell phone on, especially if it's overnight scenarios. I think that's going to be able to keep you safe. And the forecast changes several times a day. So just make sure to check in a couple times a day whenever we get closer to these cold fronts. Let's talk about the timing again. I'll walk us through the timeline, and then I'm going to answer any questions you may possibly have. But again, after midnight, if you live in the hill country, is when I see these storms starting to develop. There we are by about 1 a.m. Isolated pockets of strong to severe storms will be possible. The tornado threat is very low. It's not a zero, so it's still possible. Anything that may pop up would be very short-lived and a much weaker tornado threat. And by about 3 a.m. or after 3 a.m., I think I-35, so while most of us are sleeping, we may be waking up to some stormy weather, but it quickly clears out. And then by about 6 a.m., our eastern counties, so if you live in your eastern counties and you're an early bird, or possibly for your morning commute, the rain should be clearing out. But I-35, Austin, we should be done with the rain. Okay, so I'm going to pull up the big picture here, and I'm going to go through answering any questions. I'm also going to pull up our graphics, and let's see what's happening. I'm actually going to go into the live feed so I can hopefully see it a little better for you. Okay, Carrie, thanks for tuning in from Cedar Park. We have San Marcos in the house. Even Barbara tuning in from Waco and Bastrop. Gabrielle saying these winds are pushing her 4-year-old daughter down. Seeing her trying to punch the wind, priceless. That's adorable. That would be such a cute, very cute image to see. It is very windy outside. Kathleen saying we need the rain in Lago Vista. Our bluebonnets are gasping. Yes, lots of bluebonnet sightings out there. We desperately need the rain. I completely agree. Okay, trying to see if there's any questions. Cedar Park, Leander area. Gretchen's asking about the Cedar Park, Leander area. So all of Travis County is in a level 1 out of a 5 threat when it comes to severe weather. So that's the lowest threat that there is. It's not a 0, but it is significantly lower. That just means very isolated areas could see severe storms. Same story for Williamson County as well. And same story for Del Valley, Texas. Jules was asking. Ann Maynard, Liberty Hill. Thanks for the compliment, Jeff. Very kind of you. Around what time do the storms arrive in southeast Austin? Let me time it out for you. So I'm fast forwarding the future track. This is just one computer model. This is our graph in-house computer model, and it's showing storms arriving I-35 by about the 3 o'clock hour. So I would say after 3 a.m. expected to get stormy, but it quickly moves out by 5-6 a.m. I think we're going to be in the clear. This is the same scenario for Elgin, Lexington, since you're a little bit further east. I think the stormiest of your time frame will be after 4 a.m., more so for 5-6 a.m., and then we'll be in the clear. Zelia, I hope I'm pronouncing your name okay. She's asking if it's safe to sleep through the night in Northwest Wilco. Now, it's a low-end threat, but it's not a zero threat. So if you can sleep tonight with your cell phone on, just to make sure you get the weather notifications from the National Weather Service or also from the KVUE app. Also, if you have the KVUE app, make sure you're turning on the notifications and that it is set to your zip code so you properly get the correct location for your notifications. Then you'll be good. I think most of us will be okay. Honestly, the biggest severe weather threat is well north of us. All right, well, I am going to let you go. Hey, Kristen, thank you. Kristen's my really good friend, so nice to see you on here. I hope I answered your questions. I'm gonna do another update later on tonight, but I just wanted to check in, let you know what's happening, and we'll be tracking the storms here in the KVUE Storm Center all night long. I'll be doing a little handoff with meteorologist Hunter Williams overnight tonight, and he's gonna be tracking the storms on daybreak tomorrow. So take care. I'll check in with you later this evening, and we'll chat with you then.